back to another episode with LARA. You must remember LARA. I mean, she made the screen come alive last time. So this time she's back here because apparently LARA has a few more questions for us. TV personality, philanthropist. Obviously, we have a brand ambassador for luxury brands. She does so many things. And she's back with us because she wants to grill us a little bit more. When I say us, we've got LIESA EUTON.
Yes.
And myself, Raju. And we're back in your hands. So feel free to ask anything you want.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love the way he said grill. Raju, LIESA, it's such a pleasure to be with you guys on the show once again.
Thank you.
I didn't get enough from the first session that we had, so that's why I wanted to ask a few more questions.
Sure.
Now, I'd like to start off by asking you both. You've been in the industry for so many years.
Yes.
You've dealt with different people from different walks of life, different industries, different sectors. What would you say has been your most memorable, let me put it this way, the highlight of your journey in the world of communicating, training different people from different walks of life? Raju?
I'll start?
Absolutely.
For me, it's a very simple thing. When you have people who stop you in the middle of the street and go, "You're Raju." I say, "Yeah. Sorry, I didn't recognize." "Oh, of course you didn't recognize me. I attended your program 20 years ago. I was a salesperson. Now I am senior executive director of this region for sales. I thank you so much because I learned so much."
Wow.
And I go, wow. That sense of achievement, that sense of satisfaction, nothing beats that.
Absolutely.
I mean, all the income you make, all that's great, but this is what our clients keep coming back to us. Our return factor, before COVID, unfortunately, COVID changed a few things, but before COVID, our return ratio for clients coming back to us was almost 92%.
Mashallah. Congratulations.
So clients that use us once, it doesn't stop with one. It always goes on. Yes, all companies will have a period of train, then they'll have a little lull because they have so many people only. So they can't keep overloading them with training. So there will be 2-3 years and then it'll stop a bit but they do come back. And a year down the line, 2 years down the line, they call back, "Hi Raju, how are you? Are you still in the training business?" "Of course I am," right? So they'll come back again. So it's the return ratio. I never had to do a cold call in my life.
That tells you everything.
Since I opened my company,
That says
I
it
never
all.
had to do cold calls. My customers were all referrals or return customers. And I was like, I could literally, I didn't have to sit around because I was mostly in training programs, but I didn't have to pick up a phone and prospect.
Congratulations.
So that
That's a
was
huge
beautiful.
achievement. That's wonderful. And what about yourself, LIESA?
Oh, gosh, when you enjoy people, and as Raju said, it just hits you in the heart, and people realize, like, oh, my God, sometimes you don't remember because you deal with so many people. I'll just give you a for instance. So one of the things that I do besides the hospitality training is I also teach business etiquette. There's a lot of people are book smart, but when it comes to business meetings or going to a business dinner, people don't even know which fork or knife to start with, and they're confused.
Yes.
So I started training in the hospitality school on my free time, Wednesday, Thursday, and the chef of the school would do the cooking part. I would do the waiter and waitressing. It's a school on my island. And we'd invite the public to come for $10 and have a 4-course meal. Wow. And we'd have the students, set the table, measure the fork, how it goes, the knife, how it goes, open the bottle, how to open the bottle, all of these things, how to serve from the right, how to put the napkin on there, these kinds of things.
That's a hotel management course.
That's hotel, yes.
In 3 years, that's what they teach you.
That's exactly right. So I was doing this, and then someone approached me, and I said, "You know what? Would you teach etiquette? Would you do a business etiquette for the school?" So like I didn't have enough to do. I sat on many boards at the time. I was running the hotel. I had the restaurants and a radio show on Sunday. I said, okay, I have between 11 and 1 on Friday. I will go and teach at this beautiful, my mother's alma mater from a child, her school. It's on the main street where all the stores are in my island. So I'd go every Friday. Actually, I had a little puppy, which Lola at the time. I bring her in her little Louis Vuitton bag and put her on the counter. She slept, and I would teach. And it got to the point where the final exam came, and I'd have to tell them, okay, tomorrow you need to bring a plate, a glass, 2 forks, a knife, all of it, have them set the table. They came excited. This was 12, 13, and 14-year-olds. So they started setting the table at home or pulling the chair out for their mom or opening the door. And
Amazing.
the bank manager called from one of the banks and said, I'm so sorry, you're teaching my son. And I said, yeah. And he goes, he's doing really well. He goes, I need to ask you, can you do the bank employees?
Oh, wow.
And I had the restaurant at the time, so it was perfect. I was doing a night, evening, or afternoon shift with lunch and difficult things, because people don't realize how they have to eat soup or how they have to cut the meat away from the bone, or all of us are guilty of this. We go to buffets and we pile the plate like it's Mount Rushmore.
It's true.
You can go back. I make it fun, and I make people laugh. You can go back. The salad, take the salad first.
not running away.
So people laugh. I don't make people feel
Yeah.
bad. So it spread so far. So one instance, people started calling. Everyone started, can I take your class? Can I take your class? Then people started coming to the restaurant and tell me, I don't know if you're watching me, but I may not do the etiquette. I said, listen, my restaurant's very busy right now. I'm not watching you. Enjoy your meal. Because people were nervous. They liked my food, but they were like, Anyway, so there was a wedding here in Abu Dhabi. And my brother called me. He's in radio over 26 years. And he said, my partner, which is a really large, like a David Guetta type of person, DJ Outcast, he's coming for the wedding. He was hired. It was a destination wedding from my island in Abu Dhabi at Emirates Palace. So he said, just make sure he eats, because he'll stay in the room the whole time that he's there. He won't come out. But when he's playing, because it was an Indian wedding, so they have the Sangeet, they have the Mindi, everything. So this was the night of the Sangeet. And they're playing music, and I see him, and I come up to him, and I said, Outcast, please, you need to come and eat. Put the music on and come and eat. So he goes to get the food, and he sits down next to me. And he starts eating. He pulls out my chair. Okay, so I said, thank you. He sits down. He starts eating. He puts his napkin. And he goes, Miss EUTON? So I'm like, why is he not calling me Lisa? And he's eating. He goes, you don't remember me? I go, no. He said, now he's maybe 30. He said, you were my teacher when I was 12. You taught me etiquette. And he goes, I want to tell you that my mom and my wife are very happy, and I remember everything you taught me.
Wow.
And my heart just, felt so good that he remembered. And so many people I meet on my island always come to me and said, I remember everything that you taught me. I remember what you said. Even my staff in my restaurants, I always tell them, you can find a better job than me if they pay you better. But I'm here to empower you and train you and get you to the next level.
True.
All of my staff, I would say 90% of them that are still on the island, are all managers of other restaurants. And I still get inboxed on Valentine's Day on Facebook or LinkedIn to the best manager I ever had. That does my heart good, because we're not here to dictate. We're here to help empower people, empower your staff, and pass it on so that people can see this is the way it should be.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
that
you.
story with
Thank
us.
you.
It's beautiful. Both of you. Wow.
Amazing.
I understand why your clients want you again and again and can never
you.
get enough of you, because you both are amazing at what you do. So Raju, Lisa, how many offices do you have around the world?
In terms of offices, we have Lisa is in looking after this region, so UAE. We consider that an office.
Yes.
Although she's running around all over the place doing it.
Because we don't train in an office.
Yeah.
We go to that location.
Yeah.
On location.
Yes, also Caribbean. And now, as I said, we're putting our foothold into Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we've got an office and a business partner in Thailand, in Bangkok. We've got the office in Hong Kong. We've got a business development manager in India. In terms of, and then we've got agents, associates, we call them, who are in Macau, in Philippines. So those are the ones that we cover right now. One of the things we would love to do is expand further into and have stronger connections in, obviously in UAE, because it is huge, and in India, which is also huge. In terms, and when I say huge, I'm not talking about the size of the country. I'm talking about the needs and requirements
The demand
for
for
this
what you
particular
do.
business, right? In India, unfortunately, I've done a lot of training programs over the years. Usually it's because it's been initiated by my clients in Hong Kong or, other locations. We would love to be able to initiate business there, but you need to have a strong network of your associate who is able to do that. So that's something we're trying to do. I know LIESA loves the way I deal with the Indians in the classroom because, and it shouldn't be surprising because I am Indian. Although I've lived in Hong Kong for 59 years.
Do you speak Chinese?
I do. I speak Cantonese, which is the Hong Kong Chinese.
Okay.
And then there's the China Chinese, which is Mandarin.
Of course.
I don't do Mandarin because unfortunately I've never really had to learn it or use it in that part of the world. But in Hong Kong, I do all my training in Cantonese, especially when you're doing training for the sales and the customer service levels. It's always going to be in the local language because you need to have the right connection with them, with the participants. Yes, when it gets to managers and leaders, then it goes into English and other stuff. So interesting. And if you like to see a demo, 我同你講廣東話呢，就係好順嘅，因為我係香港人嚟嘅。
And what did that just say?
It says my Cantonese is very pure because I am actually a Hong Kong person.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
Since
and
he's
it sounded
5
lovely.
Yeah, since he's
He has
5 years
such a
old.
beautiful accent.
Yeah,
since he's 5 years old.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So I
That's
basically
wonderful.
grew up in Hong Kong, although in India we have a song that says "Fir bhi dil hai Hindustani," which means my heart is still Indian. Unfortunately, my whole thinking process has been in Hong Kong.
Converted.
And
Yeah.
if I can add to
Beautiful.
that, I always
Yes.
like to say we have very good connection with the Filipino community because his former wife, while she's Indian, she grew up in Philippines, so he understands the culture, he understands everything, and he's hilarious in the classroom or when he's training. And the Filipino staff that we train, they absolutely love him because he knows how to speak the language. He knows the
Bits and pieces.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't speak the language.
not
but,
fully, but things that he can say, they just laugh. And the connection, we build connection with our clients and also the people that we train. So in some way, we find the common link and it makes it easier for us to get the points across and the people relax. We had someone the other day, if I might say, I won't say who or the culture, but they were very strong, lots of ego. And I just told him coming here, I said, just the way he connected with him because he was his body language, his movement, everything. And then he just calmed him right down and they were best friends. And the guy actually started telling his deepest issues with his business, which he would have never done because he wanted to show us that he knew everything. Within 3 minutes,
Yeah.
he
the
totally turned them around.
Typical, very macho salesperson who, when he's talking to his customers, he'll say, "Okay, if you don't know what you want, you can come back to me when you've decided what you want."
Bye.
This is literally how he spoke. So, and he went with us with the same kind of approach. I mentioned to LIESA, that the easiest thing to do was to massage his ego. And
But not many people have that gift, Raju.
Yeah.
The fact that you and LIESA both have this gift is really amazing.
well, it's so many years of experience that you
Yeah.
you've seen all kinds of people in class.
Yeah.
You
And
have-
people are people,
yeah.
right? So it can be that compliment you give. It can be, you need to make people like to feel good and like to know that you respect them.
Yeah.
So when you get that, you get over that little hump, then they relax and like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
But
true.
One of the examples he said was, "No, but I wouldn't use it like that." I said, "Well, no, you wouldn't, because your style is different from my style. I would. So all I'm telling you right now is, I'm not saying your style is wrong. I'm just saying now you have one additional style that you can try and use." And he goes,
Oh.
I love
And
it.
at the
because I
end-
wasn't arguing with him.
No.
yours is fine. If it's working for you, great. You always have an extra backup, and that's a different style. So I'm sharing with you my style, and you can pick and choose.
Yeah.
I love
whichever
that. Now, getting back to Dubai, Dubai being one of the leading cities in the world where the whole universe is coming to Dubai.
Yes.
And the number of hotels that we have coming up here in the region is just growing drastically.
Yes.
We have an influx of even more different nationalities coming into Dubai. I think today we have 220 nationalities residing in Dubai in harmony and peace. What are your views on the service industry here in the region and how it's evolved over the years? Because you've been coming to the region for many, many years,
Yes.
Raju. And Lisa, this question applies to both of you.
I think
I'd like
it
to know
applies
both.
to you more than it does to me because
You can start.
actually lived here.
Start, and then we'll all continue.
Yes.
I think for me, one of the key things is that because it's a good amalgamation of cultures, of people,
Ethnicities.
ethnicities.
That's the Cantonese getting in there.
Yeah, that's my Cantonese coming in there. They all have their different styles. Some are here for 20 years, some are here for 3 months. So getting that blend, right? It leads back to the issue I mentioned in our last episode where I said, it's not that they don't provide good service, they don't provide it consistently. So it can go sometimes very good, sometimes very bad. And half the time it's kind of like average. So when it's average and you're a place, Dubai or this part of the world is attracting all this, attention, just average is not enough.
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
No.
So they need to go beyond. Now, one of the challenges I found is when you talk about hospitality industry, you've got a lot of brands.
True.
You've got the Hiltons, you've got the Shangri-Las, and most of them have their own internal training, which we totally respect and understand. The key message I want to get across to those people is that we're not here to displace the training that you're doing. Because you have your thing, right? Shangri-La has their own cultural training that they do internally.
Fairmont,
Hilton has their own,
Ritz-Carlton,
Fairmont.
The Marriott group.
Yeah,
et
exactly.
cetera, et cetera.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to complement using a different approach. The reason I say that is because we've heard from people in general. My management tells me something and I take it as, because it's management. But when the same thing is said by an outsider like Raju or LIESA, it's like, oh,
Yes.
maybe it is true, right? Because I just feel that, they are trying to, indoctrinate me into a certain way. So they tend to have that resistance up where they feel, oh, this is the Hilton way, so they keep pushing the Hilton way down. But when you have an outsider telling you, well, Hilton is fine, but, Shangri-La does it as well. And they go, oh, I didn't know that.
So to add to that, to break down what he's saying, and then I'll let him go back to that. So we're talking about like the heads of department, the HODs. The HR department will say, okay, there's another training, and they're sitting there listening to the person like, okay, I'm an HOD, you're HR, how can you tell me
what to do?
But when someone like us comes in from outside and they kind of show the way and they go, oh, yeah, okay, I can see that. Because they're working with the same people. I'm working with you every day, Lara. You're HR. I'm a manager of a hotel.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell me?
So true.
And in defense of the HR, they're equally competent,
They are.
equally
They are.
qualified.
Yes.
We're not saying that, because they're HR, they're not good. They're equally as good as us.
100%.
Of course.
Unfortunately, the perception from their management is like, you're just HR.
Yes.
I'm head of department. You're going to teach me. But the same thing is being said by Raju, who's supposedly this international trainer who's come in. Oh, wow, that's an important point.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel bad for the HR. It's like, well, she's been saying the same thing for the last 5 years.
They're fully competent.
And nobody listens to
Nobody
us.
listens.
Yes.
But when an outside party such as yourselves,
It's like having children, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can tell your child this all the time, but Auntie Lisa comes and says, oh, okay, yeah. I'll
It's
Or their
different.
friends say
Or
it.
their friends.
Or-
Their
Yeah.
friends say it, then
Yes.
all of a sudden it's very important.
so true. So true. Do you
Yes.
have anything you'd like to say on
Just
that,
basically
Lisa?
that like Raj said, we don't want to be average. The business is here. We want to be top game. And I'd really love to see more restaurants because there's new restaurants every day coming out in
True.
Dubai. I'd really like to see more restaurants coming on board because service is so key, And I've been to friends that even have restaurants or hospitality groups that have training, but there's always something more to be said or to be learned. This is our background. We understand it. We understand people's skills. We understand, it's like we're the psychologists.
Yeah.
of leadership skills and of people in business, because we understand the communication and what we need to do to bring across that people are the asset. And if you take your people as the asset, your business will always grow. You know, this is so important for us. And if I can just bring this to any business that's here in Dubai,
Yeah.
I would love that the taxi drivers all take a course. He speaks Hindi, you know, so I mean, we can
That would
also
be
put somebody on board
amazing.
with Urdu, because it's so important that they understand
Yeah.
our main thing of Dubai, why people keep coming back. It's not just the attractions, it's the service that we offer. People will always keep coming back, and they go, wow, wow, I had a great experience, but the people were so rude. You know, you don't want that. We don't want that. And I know Sheikh Mohammed doesn't want that.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. It is, I mean, let's face it, Dubai is based on being a service industry.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we offer in this
Yes.
part of
Very
the world.
much,
So
yes.
it's key. People are the key.
We're getting a little ticks here and there from Saudi, but our
Okay.
main concentration now, we'd love to go into this because they're really growing also.
True.
We'd love to put someone there. I've actually spoken with someone that's in that area because Saudi's growing also. But I love my Dubai. I would love
We
Dubai
all love
to
our
be,
Dubai.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I love
Yes, I'm
Saudi. We
getting
would
there
love to
as
move
well.
into
We
Saudi
would,
area.
yeah.
I'm
Of
getting there
course.
as well,
That's
loving
why-
Dubai.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
What
why
is
we
there
have-
not to love about Dubai?
That's why we have Middle East, because we
Yes.
want to consider everyone, GCC countries, everyone in this area. So we love what we do, and just, connect with us.
Amazing. Well, LIESA EUTON,
Yes.
Raju, SAJNANI, I'd like to thank you both for spending some time with me on this amazing interview. It's been so interesting finding out more about EHP, the services that you offer, and the message that we've delivered to the audience that's watching us out there today. I'm sure they've learned a lot. And unfortunately, we don't have much time on this
Yeah.
episode, so we're going to have to sign off until
Yes.
next time.
And from EHP,
Yes.
it's been a pleasure and an honor to have been able to sit with you and answer your questions as to the best of our knowledge.
Yes.
And we do hope that we've been able to convey the right messages across. We look forward to a lot more interactions, be it with you directly, be it with the audience that actually sees this podcast, hopefully with the government in this part of the world who says, hey, we want you guys as well.
Yeah.
We're here. And we're here to stay because this is what we really want to do, and we've been doing for years, and we love doing it. This is our passion. So signing off from me, but
I will just say ditto. I have nothing more to say. And just Lara, I thank you so much because
Yes.
your time is so precious that you took the time to present and be with us in the podcast. We really appreciate it.
On the contrary, that's the least
Thank
I can
you.
do. I enjoyed every second of it, and I wish you both continued growth and success in all your future ventures.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for. My name
Yes.
is Lara, signing off until next time. Bye.
bye.